Hello and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I know you're probably reading this title going, what are you on about, Mr. H? Yeah, I feel exactly like you do. What am I going on about today? Well, you read the title. I can't believe it. This article that we're about to look at came from this chap, Tamari Kitosa, who is a professor. He's a professor at Brock University. And I think this goes some way to explain why the university generation now, I guess, I call them the PAGs, so the Participation Award generation, have now just been indoctrinated into this crap way of thinking that everything is so racial. Alien and Predator, no, that doesn't enforce anti-black racism. Alien and Predator are not racist. I don't know why I have to say this, but apparently I do. Because apparently a professor believes it and is an utter moron. So Tamari Kitosa is an associate professor in the sociology department at Brock University in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And apparently he earned his BA for being a race baiter. Allegedly. Maybe. I just think he's a fool, so I'm obviously elaborating a little bit further. He's got 4 articles, and just as a bit of a background, the one we'll look at today is obviously how Hollywood's Alien and Predator movies reinforce anti-black racism. They don't, of course they don't, which we'll get on to. How to understand police violence, not a case of good cop versus bad cop. No, apparently there is no good police versus bad police. Police are police, and apparently they're all pretty bad according to this douche canoe. He's just a race baiter. Election shows Canadians still don't understand what it means to be racist. And apparently thugs is a race code word that fuels anti-black racism. Of course it does. Yes. Of course it does, ladies and gents. So let's take a look at this, right? Now, I will say this, okay? There's no legitimacy to any of his points here, right? There is none. And I feel very strongly about this stuff. I built the channel off of Alien and Predator lore videos and explained videos, all this kind of good stuff. I love Alien and Predator, it's my jam. Literally right at my desk. Right at my desk. We've got one of these, although I need to de-dust him. But you know, I love Alien and Predator. It's my jam. This is total nonsense. I don't buy any of this crap, it's completely unfounded. However, I believe it was the third iteration of the design of Predator was based off of a Rastafarian. But that was after it, you know, looked like a bug and some Anubis-looking mofo. So this is total trash, absolutely, and there's no founding for what he's saying anywhere at all. But let's take a look at it. Let's all have a good laugh, because this is laughable. This is something we can all genuinely laugh at. And there'll be plenty of black people sat there watching this go, hanging their head in shame, going, what the hell is going on with the world? And I commend you. Thank you, because you are not indoctrinated into this moronic way of thinking. Good on you. So let's check it out, right? What makes black people more likely than others to be killed, beaten, tortured, and apparently, you know, whatever, by white police officers and vigilantes? And it goes on to say, you know, although black men are killed by the police more than any other group, black women are regular targets of police violence, even though this fact is often rendered invisible. Well, an invisible fact is not really a fact, is it? Let's be honest, that doesn't make any sense. So basically, he's setting the stage for this horrendous world view, which, look, if that's the way you view the world, that's tragic, that's awful. And there'll be plenty of people that will argue the points that, you know, he's raising here. That's fine. I'm not here to argue those points. I'm here to argue the main point of Alien and Predator. You can do all of that other stuff. Those points are very easily argued away anyway. A culture and history of racist misinterpretation may have something to do with it. Why has there been considerable tolerance among the silent majority of white people for animal-like demonic representations of black people in media and popular culture? Now, remember, this is him setting the stage, right? So he's saying that this is what Alien and Predator are. They are demonic representations of black people. The short answer is that we are dealing with a culture of domination. It is a culture that thrives on the sexualized demonization of black people. Two examples of this are Ridley Scott's Alien, which comports with the trope, I know, bear with me here, of black women as alien breeders. Was this guy high when he wrote this? Joke, YouTube reviewer that's reviewing this video and is going to demonetize it anyway. And Predator, written by brothers Jim and John Thomas, that riffs on images of black men as dreadlocked, violent, and superhuman. He's literally an alien. They're literally aliens. And they kill indiscriminately. The characters in the franchises that you are claiming to be founded in racism, some of the most important ones are black. What are you talking about, mate? What's wrong with you? I feel really sorry for you. I genuinely do. George Floyd's recorded and widely publicised killing, as well as the killing of Breonna Taylor in her own home, serves as catalyst for many white people discovering anti-blackness and the reality of police violence. No, I'll tell you what has actually been increasing racial sort of tensions, I guess, is the constant accusations of anti-blackness. It's actually on the rise now, as seen with BLM, because of that. Genuinely, it has. I mean, we've literally seen calls for segregation. It's disgusting, and that's from like black people as well as white pags, just idiots. You know, segregation's not the way. It's total nonsense. So yeah, but whatever. I'm sure a bunch of people say I'm a bigot for not wanting segregation. Fuck's sake. This reckoning asks that we examine the racist anti-black cultural tropes that span art, politics, and social control. So here you go. He's setting the stage. This is anti-black. Alien and Predator are anti-black. So he's going on to just obviously discuss about Breonna Taylor. There's not really any point talking about that. I'll leave it on the screen long enough for you to check it out. And also it is down below in the description box. But this doesn't actually go on to what he's saying here. He's doing this quite smartly as well as disgustingly for SEO. Because this is not relevant to what he's about to say. Just as an FYI, he's included George Floyd and Breonna Taylor to get clicks, which is disgusting. Like, genuinely, that's gross. But, you know, anything for them clicks and views, right? According to this douche canoe. So anyway, here we go. The black woman as an alien. Just let that sink in. This guy thinks the alien is based off of black women. I feel so sorry for you. I genuinely feel sorry for you. What a horrendous worldview to have. So anyway, black women have been portrayed in contemporary white social and political culture as super fertile. They have not in the UK. That is nothing that we have over here. I've never heard that before, ever. Literally, this argument, right, would make sense if the super fertile black woman was a worldwide thing. It's not a worldwide phenomenon. What you guys in the States, and clearly this idiot here, fail to recognise is that, you know, the States and that sort of political alignment and that sort of way of thinking and social politics is actually quite a blinkered worldview. Like, it's quite small. The black woman as an alien? What are you on about? Not only that, it was made by a guy, H.R. Giger. Where is it? Is he? I can't remember if he was Swiss or something like that. He's not exactly. What are you on about, mate? Because what he's going to do now, he's going to list off a bunch of stuff that happened in the States, and you're going to compare it to Giger, the guy who created the alien. Oh my god! So here we go, right? So apparently, black women are portrayed as super fertile and indestructible breeders whose sexual reproduction must be controlled. This is a shift from the slave breeding campaign that emerged across the Americas after Britain's abolition of the slave trade in 1807 and slavery in 1834. Well, at least someone acknowledges the fact that we Brits did something good. You know, we abolished the slave trade. You know, fine. At least someone's acknowledging it, finally. This shift in public policy and white attitudes towards black women's sexual reproduction is evident in the US. Yeah. So why are you saying that this thing created outside of the US? Especially as well, you got to remember, the original Alien looked nothing like the Alien that we ended up with, that Giga created. The original Alien was nothing like it anyway. These people just seem to think that they're conceptualized as is based off of this crap, and then that's the way they've stayed for all time. Such garbage. So anyway, he goes on to, again, just going off to list all these things that are only in the States. They're only in the States, right? The Moynihan Report, Moynihan Memorandum, Republican Party, Black Welfare Queen, and then Democrats. How is this? How does that very blinkered worldview, very culturally unique view span to the world and anti-blackness? What are you smoking, boy? It is now so fundamental a mythology in the white imagination that hardly any amount of contrary evidence can dislodge it. This is what he's saying about apparently black women being super fertile. I've never heard that. I have never heard that. It is not a mythology in white imagination. Anyway, enduring narratives about black family pathology, particularly that of the overbearing and single black mother, have led to damaging representations of black women. The stereotype of a single black mother, unfortunately, comes from single black parenthood being overrepresented. Well, single parenthood being overrepresented in black ethnicity. I'm sure that's probably where it comes from. And if that's the case, stop bidding off your bloody your kids and your family. What? Oh my god, this video is so going to be demonetized. Ridley Scott's Alien franchise with its vicious and endlessly breeding carbon black alien mother. Translucent, actually. It was translucent. Came at the height of neoliberal experiment, and in the US especially, an all-out assault on black people in the context of anti-black culture. The film signifies the black woman as an unkillable and ceaselessly breeding alien who threatened the body politic. I mean, it's more realistically, it's more of a commentary on, like, rape than anything else. Like, the alien impregnates whoever. Like, that's, I mean, what? If it, oh my god! These people! How horrendous. Seriously. And again, lists off all these things only US specific. What a horrendous way to view the world. I genuinely feel sorry for you, Tamari. It must be so sad being you. For this to be your worldview. No wonder, with professors like this, right? No wonder that's how everyone now views the world. This is not the world. This is not the world. 90% of the populace does not view anything like this. At all. Anyway, let's check this out. Okay, so black man as predator. Black men and boys are imagined as dangerous, threatening, inherently criminal and superhuman. No, they're not. Bigger, faster, stronger, and less likely to feel pain. No, they're not. These views have roots in chattel slavery. Those are views that no one really holds. No one thinks black people are superhuman. What are you doing? Really? Canada is not innocent in the reproduction of this trope. Inspired by Southern secessionists, Canada's first Prime Minister John A. Macdonald claimed the death penalty would deter black men from assaulting white women. I think the death penalty would... What? The death penalty would stop anyone assaulting anyone? Surely. I mean... You know, if you get the death penalty for doing something so small like that, most people would go, "Oh God, I'm not going to hit anyone, am I?" Anyway, you know, right? Let's put rape out there, right? So if someone was like, right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to chop all rapists, dingalangs, and you know, vagines up, right? We're going to do that. No one, that would deter so many people. It is clearly a deterrent. Anyway, so, and it again goes on to list US specific stuff. Goes off to list more again US more specific stuff. All this stuff is just setting the stage for his argument that then comes in here, right? So, in the context of racially charged white anxieties about immigration and social order, the historical demonization of black men is a trope, a stereotype that easily maps onto cinematic typecasting. The 1987 Hollywood film that launched the Predator franchise fits this pattern. Predator depicted a black, dreadlocked, large, and super virile? How did you get that? Where did you get super virile from? What are you doing when you're looking at the Predator, mate? But apparently that was in a way that converged white art with white political history. A white man once said he thought it was cool that I had dreadlocks like the Predator. This is not a compliment. Yes, it is. It is a compliment. What would you rather have? What would you rather? It is clearly a compliment. Oh, I think it's cool that you've got Predator dreadlocks like, I don't know, that pot-smoking hippie that I've seen down the road. Like, that's clearly not a compliment. Saying it's cool that you've got dreadlocks like the Predator is a compliment. You utter moron. You utter fool. Again, super virile. I didn't get that from the Predator. Not quite sure where you're getting that from, mate. But then that's it. Like, he doesn't actually say anything else. And also, as well, newsflash, Tamari, black people weren't the only people to have dreadlocks in history. Sorry, dude. Hate to burst your bubble there. And anyway, and it basically calls for Hollywood to dismantle Predator and Alien, right? The way forward, how do we move forward from these harmful anti-black tropes? At a minimum, I suggest at least 3 actions. First, there must be candid admission that there is both sexualized fear of and desire of black people. Okay. The fear shows up viscerally or in an unconscious recoil when a white and black person share the same space. That's what? Okay. Second, there must also again this is the world view through this guy. This is the lens. This is the lens that this guy views the world through. It's horrendous. Second, there must also be an admission that Hollywood and the media paint black people as sexualized superhuman monstrosities, and that this meshes with racialized political discourse. Finally, more white people need to critically examine their whiteness. Well-known white scholar and writer Noel Ignatieves called for whiteness to be abolished. This call should ring true, and is necessary if we are to see an end to the psychosexual and racist pathologies that prevent black people from being able to breathe. Nice SEO you put in there as well about breathing and George Floyd. You are disgusting. I think you need to critically examine your blackness, mate. Quite frankly, if I need to critically examine my whiteness, you need to critically examine your blackness, boy. Because clearly something's going on there, mate. If this is the way you view the world, disgusting. So anyway, the comments are hilarious, as one would imagine. This article, I am offended because a couple of movies that appear to have evil characters that trigger my racist views about hairstyles belonging to a certain race. The end. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just, yeah. So it turns out that associate professors can also have wacky ideas. Who knew? I'm slightly confused by the ignorance of the history of these two film series. The Predator is a little more understandable from the author. Article's point of view, The Jungle Hunter was directly inspired by a painting of a Rastafarian warrior. Again, but that was like third or fourth design. I can only applaud the mental gymnastics of this article. This suffers the same conspiracy-like ideas that associate fantasy orcs with black. I mean, this is just bollocks, isn't it? Really? Was it Harrigan? Detective Harrigan, black, most important character, one of the most important characters. Dylan, second most important character in the first one. What are you smoking, boy? Awful. Awful. So there you go. This was sent to me by. Let me not butcher your name, because otherwise that's rude, isn't it? This was sent to me by Vincent. Thank you so much for sending this to me. If you find any nonsense like this, you want me to cover it, please do send it to mishReviews@gmail.com. Let me know your thoughts on this garbage. I'm sure there'll be some people that are somehow offended by this. Somehow. I'm sure YouTube will be offended and demonetize it, because that's the way the cookie crumbles. But is it any wonder, guys? Is it any wonder that, you know, young people are growing up with this worldview when these are the professors that are teaching them? Is there any wonder? Pags, mate. Pags. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. But Mr. H, take care.